What's up, people? It's your favorite RideShare driver. That would be me. What is going on? It is Friday. Yeah! And it is almost my favorite time of day on the Las Vegas Strip. It is 5:41 a.m. I have had a lot of caffeine, and I am raring to motherfucking go. I'm still working on that song. Welcome to the first edition of Uber Confessional. Guys, I had a doozy tonight. I had the best shared ride I think I've ever had. I don't know about ever, but it was pretty damn amazing. So I picked up Brianna at the Meridian, okay? And if you guys are familiar with this building, it's actually a building that I know very well because I've had a lot of friends live there. It's like apartments, but it's like huge. It's a humongous complex. They're really nice apartments, actually, but a lot of the show people stayed there during like Jersey Boys. I want to say some Phantom people lived there. It's just a really popular place because it's close to everything. It's nice, and a lot of people live there. Anyway, there are two entrances, to the Meridian. There's one on Flamingo and there's one on Koval. And so she texted me and said, I'm at the Koval entrance. So I pick her up. Of course, you know, we never get to see where you're going when we accept your ride. We just say, all right, sure. We could literally go to LA. There are people that I know on my message boards that have literally driven a bitch to LA. I would be like, hell no. But I pick her up, and she's a very pretty girl. She's a little older. Feel like she's my age. So I see where we're going, and it's like, you know, mind you, it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. More around 2:30. I pick her up, and I click the destination, and it's a shared ride. It's like a carpool ride. And I pick the destination, and it says Sapphire, which is a strip club. So either she's a big old lesbian trying to check out some hottie dancers at 2:30 in the morning, or she's a dancer. So we then, from there, pick up these two young dental assistants that are wasted from the Wynn. They were at Intrigue, and it was their industry night tonight. So I was actually picking up a lot at the Wynn tonight. So wasted girl number 1 and wasted girl number 2 get in. One is blonde, and the other is this like tiny little brunette who I swear to God was underage. So while we go to the Wynn, and while we're waiting to pick up the trashed dental assistants, Brianna is sitting in the back, strippers in the back, and I pulled into the Wynn and was like, okay, so we're picking up this other girl. Her name is some really weird name I could not pronounce. And she was just like this white girl. And I was like, look, you are not cool enough to have this name. Like, you need to be a Jenny or a Christy or a Carol. But it was like some really cool name. And I was like, you can't pull that off. You're a fucking dental assistant. Like, no. So, but there were two of them. And so Brianna was like, oh, okay, so there's two people coming in the car? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, where are they going to sit? And I said, well, one will sit back there with you, and then one can just sit up in the front. She's like, well, where is she going to sit? And she points to the front seat. And I go, what do you mean, she? Like, one's going to sit in the front, one's in the back. She goes, no, that... And then she peeks her head over the fucking front seat and goes, where did that woman go? And I'm like, what do you mean, where did that woman go? Like, there's no one else in the car. She's like, there was a woman sitting in the front seat. And I was like, no, there wasn't. You were the first one to get in the car. There's nobody in the front seat. And she literally has like a panic attack. Because she was convinced that there was an old woman sitting in the front seat. I don't know where I'm looking. I'm like looking at 5 different places, but I think I need to look there. That there was an old woman literally sitting in the front seat of my passenger and then somehow got out. So finally I assured her that that was not the case, that she's crazy. And she was like, wow, I knew I shouldn't have rolled before I went to work. Girl, you're gonna be rolling all over the fucking floor. Why did you do drugs before you were showing your tits? So, the 2 wasted girls get in. And first drop off was Brianna at Sapphire. So we get to Sapphire. These girls, they're from Seattle. They have no idea what Sapphire is. So they're like, is this a hotel? This is so pretty. And I didn't want to give up. I don't know if strippers are like, I'm a stripper, or if strippers are like, I'm an assistant. I don't know. I don't know if strippers make up stories, like, or if they're just like, I'm a whore stripper. So I didn't want to like tell her business. So I kind of let Brianna do the talking, in which case she wasn't. I think she still thought that the grandma that was sitting in the front seat that really wasn't in the front seat somehow died, or she was still tripping on that. So finally they were like, oh, I took her to the back entrance by the pool because that's where the dancers go. That's also where I picked them up at night. And I'm heading there now, actually. And so she finally is like, it's a club. Oh, is it? Is that where it's a club? Okay. Okay. Forgot to mention the word strip in front of that. But, so she gets out of the car and she goes, and I just say to the other 2 girls, I was like, she's a stripper. This is a strip club. And the girls were like freaking out. They were like, what? No! We were in the car with the stripper the whole time? And if you saw the way these 2 girls were dressed, you would have thought I was dropping them off at Sapphire as well. So I kind of was like, not sure if they were excited they were in the car with the stripper or grossed out. Blonde in the front, who is literally like hanging out of her disgusting dress, way too big for this dress, was like, I should be a stripper. I got these big old titties. You like big old titties? And before I could even get a word out, underage girl in the back decides to answer for me and goes, girl, he don't want your big old titties. I'm pretty sure he wants a big old dick. Now, that's no one's business. But between crazy stripper thinking that there was a ghost in the car to now being outed by this skanky old 20-year-old, I just kind of had enough of this lift line. So I merely answered big old titties. I don't want your big old titties. I also don't want a big old dick. Let's just leave me out of this. So I take them to the Palms, in which case... Oh, first they started asking how much strippers make in Vegas, and I told them they make a lot of money. They started freaking out. The girl in the back decided she was going to change careers. She also divulged a little bit of nugget information that she, at one time, because I told them I was going to grad school at Tulane, so they were excited that I was an actor, and so the one in the back was like, oh, I made it onto the Disney Channel, but my mom wouldn't let me go, and she ruined my life. And I'm looking at this, like, trashed out hooker in the back going, girl, I'm pretty sure you did not make it onto the Disney Channel. And I'm pretty sure you ruined your own life. So I get them to the Palms, that's where they were staying. And she divulges that she's dating one of the Seattle Seahawks. And I know I'm gay, but at least I do know that that is a football team. So she starts going on, and she's like, can I ask your advice? And I was like, okay. She was like, this man just is not giving me what I need. He's not giving me the love and respect that I need. And I was like, how long have you been dating? And she was like, 3 weeks. And I said, okay, well, here's my advice. Stop freaking out about something that clearly isn't anything yet, because it has had the shelf life of the cottage cheese in my refrigerator. So until you're hitting 6 months, I would just chill the fuck out. And big old titty goes in the front. She goes, listen to him, girl. He clearly knows. He has dealt with this before. Whether it's been a big old dick or some big old titties, he knows. So that's the moral of the day, guys. Whether or not it's been big old titties or a big old dick, I know. All right, y'all. I love you. I hope you're well, and I hope you enjoyed this first edition of Uber Confessional. Make sure you stay tuned for episode 2, which should be really any day now, because I have a ton of stuff that I need to get out. Have an awesome Friday. Peace.